What up? Tone Space coming through off the little late night. Been doing my, you know what I'm saying, digesting, you know what I'm saying, my YouTube nutrients from around, you know what I'm saying, the streaming world and such and such, such and such. I actually wanted to do this, knock this video out last night, but I got tired. It's kind of like a veggie back or a lamb back from the other video I was talking about the, you know, the 51-year-old man that knocked out that little girl and stuff like that. And I kind of cited this Roland S. Martin dude that has a show, and I kind of briefly touched on some things. I wanted to go a little bit more into it, but yo, real quick, man, I'm really, I'm kind of turning the skin and bones over here. What's going on? You know, as you may understand or know, I've been, dropping a few pounds here and there and stuff, but I mean, it's getting kind of crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I already rap, but I'm about to start, you know what I mean? I might start having to be down with the mumbly people, start mumbling in the rhymes, and you know what I'm saying? Get a whole bunch of tattoos, the arms and the chest. I'm turning into a mumbly rapper, man. I don't know. Not the face, though. I ain't getting any face tattoos. I don't even care. Even in hypothetical jokey joke mode, I ain't getting no hypothetical jokey joke face tats. Yeah, this gotta stay how it is, you know what I mean? But I'll get some hypothetical jokey joke arm, chest tattoos and whatnot, you know? Pass for maybe 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? Because with the slim down thing, I guess a little bit more of a youthful appearance is coming out and stuff. But yeah, man, I'm starting to look like a mumbly mouth rapper out here. I don't know. But that's a whole nother story. But real quick, I wanted to touch on this Roland S. Martin. And it's basically their take on the 51-year-old white man that knocked out the 11-year-old young black girl. So I'm gonna play a little bit, and then I'm gonna dig real deep in it, because I really have an interest in, or I think an interest in perspective about this particular man's show and comparable shows. You know what I'm saying? And I really think there's a social con being run upon all of us. All of us that take any interest in the black, or even the black, Hispanic, or the Israelite oppression, captivity, or trials and tribulations that we go through, and those that are supposed to speak on behalf of our favor and stuff. So let me just shut my mouth real quick, play a little bit of a clip, and then I'll come back and yap 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 about it. All right. Hold the press. We're having an official Tone Space blooper reel moment. I gotta set up my audio situation because I'm running this OBS Studios on a Mac, and you gotta kind of freak it and tweak your little system before you could actually run it right, where you could play certain audio and stuff. And if anybody interested in getting their flow right as far as rocking out with the broadcaster, green screens and all that, I know my shit ain't looking the best, but I do have a tutorial that shows you how to get your thing John Blaze. And you know what I'm saying, you might have access and be privy to even better equipment. I do gotta update my green screen. My thing looking kind of pathetic with all the squares and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I do got the tutorial, a few videos down, and then I'll link to another tutorial that's even more thorough. So if you're interested in setting up your thing, check those joints out. Or there's a couple people that rock with me that I'm happy to walk you out through it, you know what I'm saying, on some one-on-one stuff like that as well. You know what I mean? But for everybody in general, just check the little tutorial out. Alright, hold on. Let me hook this little thing up. We're having a real moment right here. No edits, no cuts, none of that. Here we go. Put that there. It's multi-output. I show. Okay. I think we good money now. Now let's take this back to the top, man. The Roland S. Martin show and their recap of the 51-year-old Caucasian man that knocked out an 11-year-old sister. Let's go.
Being filmed. Look at this video. Khalil, you hadn't seen that?
No.
Okay, here's issue number one that I have, and I spoke on this on my other video. This man, Roland S. Martin, he knows of the full clip. The full clip initially shows this white man, or rather, pardon me, initially shows the young 11-year-old girl attempt to shove the white man. So the footage starts with her shoving the white man. Then he turns around. She gets kind of in his face, and then he proceeds to shove her with a lot, more force, as he's a much bigger guy and all that. And, you saw the rest that proceeded. He ended up knocking her out. But it's a very crucial point I'm making, and that is why this man, Roland S. Martin, would not take the footage from the top that shows the young girl initially shoved this man. But let's go.
No, I had not seen that.
The man was identified as David Stephen Bell, was later arrested and charged with assault on a female under 12 years old and assault on a female. And he was released hours later after posting bail. Police are investigating Bell. He could face up to 445 days in jail for the misdemeanor charges. These were just, it's like you decide to wade in the center of these young women and just cold cock a 12-year-old girl.
All right, now real quick, if you're watching this and you saw my other video about the man that knocked out the girl, keep in mind the premise of this video is not that particular footage. It just so happens that there's some red flags that went off on this guy recapping that situation that, is gonna go into a whole nother point. And after, when I'm done playing these clips, I'm gonna tie this all together like a nice little bow and whatnot. Now, this man just said, as I covered in my last video, he just said that this white man decided to go in the middle of some girls and cold cock a little girl. As I said in the other video, that makes no sense. You mean to tell me them girls already had a circle with nobody in the middle, and this man just decides to be like, oh, excuse me, or shove his way in and place himself in a circle? No, it's obvious that they circled him. So this man's being disingenuous. That's two disingenuous strikes right there. Not taking a video from the top where the girl first shoves him and saying the most ridiculous thing, suggesting that he decided to insert himself inside of a circle that was already there. It just sounds ridiculous. Now let's keep it moving though. Come on.
Well, I gotta say,
I saw the video.
I gotta say one more time that we should be thinking all spiritual sources for this, because I used to work in law enforcement in Los Angeles. That's not new behavior, Roland.
Right.
No.
That people have been smacking black kids and black people all over the place, but it was their word against theirs because people talked about intent, that good old word again, and the white person who smacked somebody got off.
My issue.
Shout out to my man right there that just said that. The most understanding and intellectual and logical thing of these three people that I'm citing, what they said. My man in the middle, I think he's on point. Yes, a lot of stuff that's off camera. There's a lot of stuff that's caught on camera where little kids get smacked up by white people, authority or whatever. I'm sure y'all remember the viral video of the person that was in the classroom. I think it was a young black girl. They said that she was acting unruly, so they called either it was a police officer or a school security. I forget which one, but whichever one it is, that person came in. It was a white man, and he ended up like scoop slamming Shorty, like trying to hit her with the jackhammer that Kevin Nash used to do or something like that. Totally ridiculous stuff. Now that was caught on camera, and that caused a lot of an outrage. And now just multiply that situation by like probably 1,000, and as this man just said, he used to work in Los Angeles, and he'd see a lot of this stuff go down, a lot of stuff that doesn't get caught on camera. So it's very good that situations like this was actually caught on camera, and I stick to what I say before. I think it's good that that man got arrested. If you want to know further of my opinion of that particular 51-year-old man with the 11-year-old girl, just watch the last video. I break it down a lot, but we're gonna go into what this last woman says on this little clip. Here we go.
Want to make a comment?
Yes, I think that this is an example of something that is happening repeatedly. Black girls are not allowed to be girls. They're not seen as girls. So there is no effort to treat them like children, to protect them as children in the.
All right. Crazy, wild, in my opinion, idiotic comment, I guess, number 3. We got 2 that came from Roland S. Martin. Well, 2 incidences, him not showing the whole video, and then his thing about how the dude just went inside their magic circle. And then we have this woman saying girls should not be girls. All right. On the surface, you may get an understanding of what she's talking about, because in no way should a man just cold clock a woman or a girl. You know what I'm saying? Because ladies are ladies, men are men. We hunt, they gather. We have the strength and the brawn, and I don't got much of that right now because I'm 6'6" and 208 pounds, but usually I do. But so I understand where she's getting at on that level. But in this particular situation, this 11-year-old girl was not quite acting like ladylike or like an 11-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't shown in this video, which is suspect in itself, but she shoves a grown-ass man. And then he turns around and she gets back in his face and for a hot second even throws her hands up. And then he proceeds to clock her and knock her out. So yes, man knocking out little girl, that's wrong as far as very unruly and not adhering to how ladies are supposed to be and not allowing a lady to be a lady. However, this young lady was not acting ladylike in the first place. She stepped up to the plate of manliness by pushing a grown man, by, you know, kind of throwing her hands up and all that. You know what I'm saying? So for this woman to say that we're in a society and this where girls can't be girls, it can't apply to this video clip because this girl was not acting like a girl. Now let me tie this whole situation up like in a nice little neat bow for y'all, right? To tell you what I'm really getting at. This Roland S. Martin guy, basically he's ignoring the potential fault of the young black girl. He didn't show the clip where she first pushed the man. What else he said? Said some ridiculous thing, how the man put himself in a circle that was already there and decided to cold clock someone like no one else did any wrong in the situation. No one black did anything wrong, right? And then this woman saying girls can't be girls. Like this girl was just, you know, the Miss African beauty pageant and, you know, the most ladylike of ladies. You know what I'm saying? No, she was wilding out. You know what I'm saying? And it should be recognized that she was wilding out. Why should it be recognized? So people could do better. So if you got parents with kids out there that's wilding and doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff they shouldn't be doing, you could train them and you know, check them so they could be the very strong black women, ladylike black women, intelligent, supporting to a husband black women that they were born, built, and meant to be. But the main point of what I'm saying is I look at this Roland S. Martin. I've never seen any of his shows before, but I have heard the name. Why have I heard the name? Because his name is popping. As you could see, he has a high production show. You know what I'm saying? Look, it looks like some stuff that's on ABC, CBS, Fox News, and all that. You know, nice quality, high production. If I looked into this man, he probably has a lot of you know, dealings with people in quote unquote white supremacy, which is a word I usually don't adhere to. I'll probably make another video on that. I don't necessarily think whites are supreme, and I don't think we should be toting that word around and keeping the notion of whites having supremacy on our conscience. I think that's a social con as well. But the point that I'm getting at is that a lot of these shows, because I've seen it with other people, I call it the Al Sharpton effect, or we could call it the sharp tongue of Sharpton. What did Al Sharpton do for decades? He's always the first one on the scene when there's any black injustice. Now, in a lot of these cases, it was very good that he was on the scene. There was true injustice being done, and he put in the blood, sweat, and the tears to talk and to speak out against it and to try to get justice for dozens, scores upon scores of families, right? However, one thing I've noticed is that Al Sharpton has also been speaking out at things that was kind of iffy, you know what I'm saying, where it didn't necessarily seem like there was like an injustice. The point that I'm making at is I would see Al Sharpton speak out against any and everything. And my theory is that he does that on purpose, that Al Sharpton does it so that when he starts to speak out or, you know, tote around that black activism to things that don't really warrant that, or where there wasn't really much of an injustice or an injustice at all, then what that does is it'll kind of weaken the times where he comes out and speaks out against injustice that is actually true. Because by that way, what he's telling everybody is like, look, I'm just going to cry at everything. So when you cry at everything, you cry wolf and act like there's an injustice in any and every situation, then that actually takes away from when you are on the scene for situations that are real. And I think this Rolling S. Martin cat, he's part of that sharp tongue of Sharpton. He didn't play the entire video. He didn't start it where the girl shoves the man first. Said some ridiculous thing about the white man inserting himself in a circle that was already there. No, they circled him. For what reason, I don't know. This woman, black girls can't be girls. Meanwhile, this girl's all up in dude's face. The point I'm making is I think it was wrong for that man to knock out that young girl. But what Roland S. Martin is doing is a disingenuous spin where it looks like the black girl did no wrong and it's just white oppression all through and through in the entirety of the situation. And I think comparable and similar to Al Sharpton, I suspect, especially when I see all that high production, you know what I'm saying, he basically looked like, you know, Bobby Hemmett with a big budget, right? That when you're doing that, and that when he's doing that, he's of that same agenda to make actual real black activism look ridiculous by going well above and beyond to make the black person not wrong in the situation. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do my homework because I'm doing this video off the cuff. I'm going to look more into Roland S. Martin's work because right now this is in theory mode. Any of y'all that is in the comments that's familiar with this dude, y'all can shout out in the comment section and tell me if he's always on that hyper black man, black woman is right, white man is wrong completely type of ish. You know what I'm saying? Because if he is, and then I see all that high production he got going on, then I think it fits the theory. Comparable with Reverend Al Sharpton. Comparable with Jesse Jackson. In my opinion, another funny style cat. A Sunday churcher. Just like Reverend Al Sharpton. A Sunday churcher. Worship on the wrong day. We could get into that too. But it's a lot of stuff that gives me the idea that a lot of these people, when they got a high production like that, there's probably a white man that's writing the check and a white man that's writing the narrative. And what is that narrative? To go to ridiculous lengths in support or pseudo support of black activism to the point where y'all look like fools. In other words, to coon. Roland S. Martin, we want you to coon. And OD when it comes to trying to say that this is wrong, that is wrong, so that we make real black activism look like a joke. Now, I've seen this with Al Sharpton. I've come to this conclusion. Maybe some of y'all haven't. Y'all can shout that out in the comment section too. Back in the day when he was fatter,